Hello and welcome back to one of our mini training sessions on Workbooks CRM. And in this one, we're going to cover the mapping add-on to Workbooks to help you visualize your CRM data in exciting ways. Now, this is an optional add-on just before we get started. It is optional, not provided with the core Workbooks subscription. So hello, I'm Tim Wilmot, joined by my colleague on this event by Stuart. Stuart will take you through the mapping add-on shortly. And we at Wizard Systems, we're a leading independent CRM solutions provider, supplying systems like Workbooks. And we help out generally small and mid-sized organizations, help them improve their sales, marketing, and customer service productivity. So thanks very much for joining this event or watching the recording. A focus on the mapping extension to Workbooks, just really an overview of it. There can be a lot more to it, and we'll be done in about 10 minutes or so, I say just an overview. The audio part of this live presentation is one way only. If you've got a question, those of you logged on here live, pop that into the question box in the meeting control panel. We'll do our best to answer those at the end, and the call is being recorded as well. Quick mention about Wizard. We are a long-standing, say, independent provider of a number of different CRM solutions, including Workbooks. We've got a lot of expertise in implementing these solutions and lots of services to make sure that you get the most out of your investment. And we can help you with certainly the implementation, customization, training. That can be your place, our place, or online, and help desk support as well. So let me hand over to my colleague, Stuart, and while he is just preparing things, let me just go over the potential benefits, I believe, of using a mapping tool with your CRM or your workbook system. Well, first of all, you've got that lovely geographical visualization that data can't provide you. Mapping tools can help you visualize your CRM data on these maps, and that can be a lot more useful in understanding the geographic distribution of your customers, your leads, your opportunities, your service activities. And it can help identify trends and patterns that might be a bit difficult in seeing the data in a sort of table or a grid or a report. Secondly, territory management. Have you got territories? You've got salespeople in teams. Mapping tool can really help them or help you. Managers, users in territory management, sales reps can see their assigned territories on a map and help them see where their customers are and maybe start to help them visualize their visits and appointments. And as regards appointments, thinking about route optimization and the illogical nature of the UK. If you're in the UK, I'm not sure if you're listening, if you're watching from a different country, how logical are your postcodes? A mapping tool can help you with planning your journeys, could help you save time, reduce travel costs, and as I say, really useful when you look at sometimes how illogical we are in the UK. For example, if you look in London and the N1 postcode is bordered by N5 and N6, but nowhere near N2. So wrote that one out. But a mapping tool could really help you see proximity, different contacts. So it's going to help you enrich your CRM data by providing you additional information on locations and integrating data, local demographics and business listening. It can really help you visualize things in a different way. And maybe it could help you with customer service. Are you using Workbooks for customer service? Just seeing where your service teams are, how close are they to a contact, that can really help you there as well. And finally, before I hand over to Stuart, finally, targeted marketing. Of course, Workbooks has been a brilliant marketing tool. A lot of our Workbooks customers use Workbooks, leveraging as a linchpin, a launchpad for their marketing campaigns. And if you've got things if you've got targets that need to be pinpointed in a geographical way, this can really help you with that mapping add-on. So let me hand over to Stuart now, just give you a brief overview of what it looks like, and then we'll answer your questions. Over to you, Stuart.
Thank you, Tim. So once the mapping module has been added to Workbooks, a couple of changes will take place on your system. First of all, when you go to a landing page such as people, organizations, as you can see on screen, and sales leads, a new column will be available called Map Position. And provided that your record has an address and hopefully, as Tim was saying, a postcode, Workbooks will then go and find the latitude and longitude for that address and place it on a map. And this is test records, but we've got the right locations here. You'll notice if I click on the down arrow next to an organization, it will show me this record. This one is based in Bristol. And I can jump to the record by clicking on the top. And I can also click on the bottom one here and open this up in Google Maps so that you could use it to plot directions to this company. So really quick and really simple way of navigating to a contact. Because as I mentioned, that view of this map position also appears on other landing pages. Another feature that it gives you, although it doesn't show it here, is it gives you distances for these particular records. So if I go back and view it as a map and a grid, you see I've got all these records. And if we pull out, you'll start to see Bristol and then eventually the United Kingdom. Now I want to find certain organizations within an area. So we can use this now. And again, because we've got this mapping feature added, if I go to add a filter, one of the new features that I get is map position. You'll now notice instead of just the usual less than and greater than, we also get distances when we select map positions. So I'm going to pick something like 50 miles. Of Norwich. And the system will go away and calculate those for me. Draw a radius that's 50 miles. And those are the only organizations now within 50 miles of Norwich. Norwich being marked in red, and all the blue ones are the organizations around that. This gets even better, is that we can add filters to this. So I want to say, that's great, but now only show me those within 50 miles of Peterborough. Again, we apply this, and it'll add a second filter. There's Peterborough, and there's Norwich, and only 4 of my records appear in both. So again, as Tim was alluding to with things like territory management, you can now use the mapping tool to drill right into your data by area and come up with the exact records that you're after. Another great feature of this, if we turn that one off, is you can use it to find records that are near you. So here we'll just need to, let's pick, say, 20 miles. And I know my organization record is organization 1210. This is test data, so this is our office. If I apply that, it will now just return those records that are within 20 miles of where this organization is based. Nice and simple, nice and quick. One extra thing that we have here is if we go to any record, and for instance, well, let's pick Wizard Systems here, a tab is added to the records. In this case, it's called Nearby, and it's added automatically if you have the mapping add-on. And what it does is it creates Nearby and defaults to 20 miles from your location. So these are all the records that are within 20 miles of where the Wizard Systems pin is. And again, we can view those on a map from within the Wizard Systems record. So that's where they are based. And again, really quick and really simple. The one thing you may have noticed is this is, for instance, that one has put it in the middle of the road, because obviously that's where 5HZ goes to. If you spot that that's wrong, we can go to the Abacus records And just to the right is this new field. Now this field is read only, and it takes the information from the address and the postcode, and then uses that, as I mentioned, uses latitude and longitude to set the information. If you click on the pin on that record, we can now move around and hopefully find where the company should be. And I'm going to say that they are down here, in this area here. I'm going to tell the system, can you move the pin to here? And now when I close, the system will put here that it's been user specified. If I save and close, the system will now update this, and it will move that pin to that new record, and it will stay there. And if the company moves, or you just, again, you can move the pin if it's not quite as accurate as you want. One other advantage of this is that the mapping is reportable. So if we go to reports, and I click on reports, I mentioned earlier that you can find all the records that are near our office. So what you can have here is, again, this mapping location becomes available because we've got the mapping tool. We get latitude and longitude. And again, because we have that information and we know where our office is, we can add the distance to our offices. So at a glance, we now know exactly how far it is to each of these organizations. And that's just a simple calculation field that can be added to a report. Again, very quick, very simple. And even though this is a report, we can still view this as a map. And we can still zoom in and select all those. And I can even zoom in and select these and view these. Now, because this is a report, it doesn't show the business information as it did on the landing page. Because this is a report, it's just showing us the map references. But very quick, very easy. If you're trying to find out what companies are within 100 miles, find out where they are, I can highlight that, and it will tell me that that company is right in the heart of London. So that's the mapping tool. As I mentioned, on the people records, on the organization records, and on the sales leads, and you can also use it within the reporting section of Workbooks as well. And I hope that helps.
Thanks so much, Stuart. Yeah, and really good quality maps as well. Actually seeing a good level of detail, different color formatting, and individual buildings, which can be really useful when you're going out there, out and about. And we did this webinar a couple of years ago, back in COVID. Of course, nobody was going out to see clients, so we didn't get much uptake on the actual event itself. But now, hopefully, people post-pandemic, people are getting out and about a lot more. And if you're visiting clients, this is a really useful add-on to your core workbook system. Okay, let's dive into any questions, those of you on here live, and see if we can answer those. So question from Justin, can I change the color of the pins? It's a good question. They're all sort of like that bluish color. Yeah.
Yes, you can. By default, the red pin marks in a filter sort of the parameter that you've set, whether it's a town or an area. Then the blue pins denote those records that are the results of that filter. However, when you use the mapping tool in reports, you can add customizations to the columns. So by applying colors and a little bit of CSS, so HTML, you can change the colors between customers, suppliers, so that when you're looking at a map, it becomes a lot easier to see and to filter the records that you're looking on screen.
Yeah, don't worry, Justin, we can help you with that CSS thing. Yeah, no problem. Right, next question from Isabel. We only need a few users using this. Is that possible? I guess she's saying, well, not the whole Workbooks user base that she's got, just a few. And maybe I can answer that one, Stuart. So the add-on module is based on the number of users that you want. Doesn't some add-ons for workbooks have to be applied across all users, like multi-currency, for example, storage, that sort of thing that is relevant to all users. But mapping, just the people that you want, really. Although, Stuart, there's no way that I think some people could actually see the results of maps, but they can't really kind of interact with the add-on extensively, something like that.
I believe so, because you can share a report that used it, but what the users can't do is they won't be able to interact with the mapping features.
Yeah. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question, Isabel. Right, only 2 questions there. Latest release as of September 2023, well, you'll have it already, 7.1. Do you need any training on workbooks? Please contact us at Wizard Systems if you need any help in getting the most out of your Workbooks CRM solution, or indeed anything CRM. We'd be happy to hear from you. So that's it, us done then on the mapping module. There's our contact details. Remember our YouTube channel for all the other previous Workbooks events that we've run over the last few years. And we will catch up with you on the next event. Thank you very much indeed. Bye-bye.